Alrighty, we have hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel. It is absolutely insane. At the time of me filming this video, I'm at 5,036. So yeah, I always know the exact number because I check like every second of the day. But we have hit 5,000 subscribers, and I'm super grateful for all of you guys' support for subscribing to the channel, placing orders with my brand Risen, and just watching the videos and supporting in general. So this has been an absolutely mind-blowing process, and the fact that we are halfway to our 10K goal is just unreal. We are now in May, so it's been about 5 months of doing YouTube kind of as a full-time thing. We're finally getting to that point where I feel like I'm starting to dabble a little bit into my career, so yeah, it's super cool. But today for you guys, we have a fun little video. We're going to be installing something on this car that I think will make a big difference, because one thing I don't like about this car is the front grille. It has kind of like this stack shelf looking thing that for some reason gives me the vibes of a cockroach or something. I don't really know how to explain it. I just don't like the way this looks. Kind of gives me like a beetle or bug vibe. And that's something I really like about the GR86, is the way it has that hexagon mesh that makes it look a little bit more aggressive instead of this like layer thing that they did here. I think they also have this on the first Gen BRZ. So I get why they did it, I'm just not a big fan. So today we're going to be trying to install a custom mesh grille that I picked up on Amazon. I kind of got inspired by this idea from a render I saw in a Facebook group. But yeah, I found the render on a Facebook post, and it actually looked really good. So I'm hoping that doing this will make this look good. Hopefully we can make it fit. And I also have a nice little touch to put on afterwards, so I think it'll look a lot more aggressive than it does now. Everyone's biggest complaint about the BRZ versus GR86 is how soft this car looks and how non-aggressive. But between this front custom grille and between the little piece I'm about to add on here today and the front splitter that we're going to be doing here shortly, I think the BRZ can look very aggressive. So let's go ahead and back this car in so we can get it on the lip, take this bumper off, and see how we want to mount our grille up. Now that we have the car in the garage and on jacks, we are going to be able to take off the front bumper. So we got a couple 10 mils on top here, a couple pop clips. We're gonna have some push clips here on the inside here. I think it's 1, 2, 3. And then I think you have a flathead twist clip here. And then you got a couple clips underneath, and then the bumper should just come right off. So once we get all that off, it will be time to replace this ugly grille, hopefully with this mesh grille we have over here. So this is what we ended up getting from Amazon. It's literally just a black mesh. It was rolled up. I had to flatten it out over time. Let's hope this is long enough. Wait a minute, is this even long enough? No, this don't even be long enough. Okay, I run into a little bit of a problem. This grille is not long enough to reach the fascia from here to here. But I think what I'm going to do is, because I just realized that this grille isn't even opened up here on these top 2 pieces. It's open on this bottom portion here. And it's so open that there are so many leaves back in there that I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So that's kind of annoying too. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually Dremel out this bottom portion of the grille and replace this bottom portion with this, and use this top part of the grille to kind of keep this mesh in a good structure, because I feel like if you were to remove this whole big area and try and fit this in there, I don't think it would hold up well. It'd probably be like all warped up in different areas. But if you're just cutting out this bottom portion and replacing this bottom portion, and I think it'll look a lot better because it still gets rid of this bottom shelf here. This is what I'm gonna call it. And you'll have these 2, but at least it'll just be 2 instead of 3, and it will still have this kind of aggressive flare look, and you'll still be able to pop this out for your tow hook. So I think this would be the most functional decision, and this might be for the better. It might look better because the grille does reach from here to here, but it doesn't reach that top portion from there to there. So let's go ahead and take this bumper off and then start playing with the grill and seeing the best way to make this fit. I do think that third shelf is kind of what ruins the front of this car, so. Front bumper off the car now. Haven't had this off since the car got wrapped. But man, look at all these damn leaves in here. That's insane. Ugh. Alright, so that's as clean as I'm gonna be able to get that. So bumper is off. We got all the leaves out of here. That just really goes to show that this open grill setup that they had here just wasn't effective. Especially because it's just catching a bunch of leaves. But I'm thinking we are going to be cutting this part of the grill, this line. So we're gonna find a way to mount the mesh to this top portion here and the bottom. So we're basically cutting out this center piece here so that we can replace this with the mesh. So let's go ahead and kind of take this apart so we can see what we're cutting. I'm gonna take off these little side fins, they're on both ends. Once we have this off, we can really see what we're working with here. I'm going to completely take this grill out. It doesn't look too hard. You got the 3 screws on this side to take this little plate off, and then we have a 10 mil nut up here and then 2 10s out here, and then I think from there it's just clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a try. Some tabs here. Yep, yes. Voila. This is out. Kind of just push the tabs on the side here until I pried the whole grill out. So now that this is completely out, we're gonna be able to start trimming this thing down and replacing it with some mesh grill. Alright, so I haven't really used a Dremel before, but we just used it recently on the 350Z build. Watching Sunny do it, it didn't seem too bad, but first I'm gonna figure out exactly what I'm gonna cut. So we're gonna go ahead and Dremel out this portion here, and then we're gonna cut into here and Dremel these out. So shouldn't be too bad. Enough of me talking. I'm gonna go ahead and just get started. Alright, so after like an hour of dremeling, I also figured out there's a like sanding Dremel bit that kind of like sands things down. So I ended up getting all these cut off, and then I made a little groove here on both ends. It looks very tacky, but I have a plan to make it look good. So I kind of sanded it down with the Dremel, and now we have these like grooves here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut out a piece of this grill mesh that fits in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm thinking to self-tap drill these into the little groove that I left up here, so it'll be held up in these top 2 corners, and then from there I will be able to figure out where I want to mount it on the bottoms, and then somewhere in the middle so it kind of stays still. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out a piece that fits, and hope this works. I think I'm going to use the OEM holes here from that little guard that goes in here. I'm going to drill some holes through the mesh and then mock up the thing and have it line up and just screw it in, and that'll hold this into place on both sides. And then for the middle, I'm thinking some double-sided tape on the top here will hold this area because it's a lot of flat area. And then down here, I might drill a hole here and then run a little zip tie through here so it can have that kind of support. So the grill is pretty much on. Quick little recap here. What we did is we cut out the center portion, cut out a piece of mesh that would fit it pretty well, and then we have 2 zip ties on the top here that we drilled a hole in and a hole on top. Slide the zip tie in, drill hole, zip tie, Then we use one of the OEM screws here to screw this in, and we're not putting these back on. And then we drilled in a self-tapping screw on the other end of both sides. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. First reveal here. Camera died, but wow, that actually turned out pretty good for a very, very amateur job. It's definitely far from perfect, but I think you kind of get the idea of what I was trying to do here. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. I don't know if I love it. I don't hate it. But let's go ahead and put the bumper back on the car so we can kind of just see, I guess, how it looks on the car. Damn, that actually came out pretty good. It looks freaking nice. It looks a lot nicer. I definitely think the third step was what was ruining it, but I think the quality of my install was straight garbage. But this kind of gives people an idea of what this can look like, and I actually really like the look of it. So now that everything is tight, I do really like the look of that. I do. Here we have a front license plate, because I don't want to have that little weird bar here in the middle. Doesn't look very good. But we have a front license plate that says Rise Up, or Risen, obviously the brand, and the 21, which is my favorite number, not because it was a meme, but because I was born on the 21st, and everything that seems to happen to me that's lucky with a number, I use the number 21. So pretty cool plate. Hopefully this makes the front end tie a little bit more together here now that we have this custom mesh grille. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this thing on. So my camera did die while I was at the garage, all my cameras, which is my fault. I was very unprepared to film that day, but it's quite a bit later and the car has actually held up with the custom grille setup and the front license plate. This was a very terrible job, I would say. I don't think I did well at all. If you get real close, you can see how bad all this looks, but from a distance, this actually looks really freaking good. I think it looks really aggressive. I don't know how big of a fan I am on the front plate, but I definitely am a fan of the idea of cutting the grille in half and using the mesh instead of that like third shelf that they have there. So I definitely think that looks a lot better. But that's gonna wrap up today's video. I have a neighbor watching me from up there, always making this type of stuff awkward, which is one main reason I kind of stopped filming over here at the apartments. But the grille setup is done. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and the front license plate, and I think it came out pretty nice. It's definitely far from perfect, but I think it was fun to learn how to do that. And if I want to go back, all I have to do is buy the grille fascia. I didn't damage anything to the actual bumper or anything, so all I would have to do is swap out this grille area. So it's cool to learn, cool to see, definitely something custom. Maybe I'll take it out one day and try and do it better, but it takes a step forward to more customization on the BRZ, because I know not many people have done things to it. But yeah, so yeah, before this video ends, I really want to say thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers. I had to make a video with the BRZ because this is obviously the star of the channel. The performance on the 350Z videos are okay, they're not ideal. From somebody that went from getting 20 likes per video at the beginning of this year to about a minimum of 100, I'm still very happy with how the 350Z videos are doing, but obviously they don't compare to the BRZ videos. So I thought I'd hop on here, make a video, and yeah, even though the 350Z build is about to get freaking crazy, I actually have it parked right over here. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. I already filmed a few videos installing some of the body kit on the Z, as you guys can see. That's all I'm gonna show you guys because I want you guys to see the parts. It looks freaking insane. So if you guys haven't been watching those videos, be sure to check it out because the car is transforming into a much nicer car. Because as someone that doesn't usually like 350Zs, I'm definitely really liking the way this one is coming out. So yeah, fun little BRZ video. I have a lot more BRZ content lined up to do, just not as much time as I used to, so it hasn't been easy. So yeah, I'm so grateful for you guys' support to the channel and the brand Risen. I actually spent the night accepting some of you guys' application to join the team. We're gonna be opening chapters out in Texas and California. Those are gonna be our first 2 expansions. We already have a leader, I believe, and a whole team set up for those 2 states, so that's really freaking cool. And you guys have still been killing it with the orders. I have 2 orders that I've been needing to get out, but I've just been super slammed, but I'm going to get to that as soon as possible because I hate the feeling of knowing that people are waiting on these products, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock those out. I'm glad I got to step out of my comfort zone and try something I've never done before. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and never stop dreaming.